Ladies and gentlemen, we are live with the Chilling Wargamers Dropzone Commander Special. Good evening.
Woohoo.
I'm Andy, of course, the legend. We're also joined by Mr. Spud, the legendary Chilling Wargamers co-host.
Yes,
and a
yes.
Dropzone legend in his own right.
Yes, I am here today, everyone.
Looking a little worse for wear tonight, Mr. Spud.
I've been working my little tootsie off all day, helping my friend move out of his house, so I'm very tired. But I am here.
Well,
That is the main point. I'm here with my rulebook in front of me about Dropzone Commander.
If there's one thing that could just give you an injection of life, then it's Dropzone Commander, isn't it?
Dropzone Commander is my life. If I'm not working or sleeping or eating, I am Dropzone Commander.
Okay, we're also joined by the wee man himself, Mr. Elstonation.
Yo, how goes it, people?
Wonderful. How are you this fine evening?
I am absolutely knackered. I've had a really rubbish week, but I'm happy that I'm here chilling out with my friends, so I'm all good now. I'm all good.
This could be the most low-key episode of all time if everyone is just incredibly fatigued. Now, a man who surely can't be tired at all, the Danbringer himself. Now, normally he would be full of life and just bouncing around the room, but a mini raider did arrive on the scene lately.
Yeah, early Tuesday morning I became a father.
Yeah, buddy. Well done, Dan.
Have you picked out a Dropzone faction yet?
Get in there.
I think she might get Chaltari or Resistance.
What age are you going to start sort of inducing her into it? Is it like tomorrow? Like,
Might be a bit soon, maybe Tuesday.
okay, Tuesday. Okay, that's cool. She has only just been born, so we just give her a little bit of time. But yeah, Tuesday's cool.
It's slightly younger person friendly now with the plastic starter sets instead of resin, I think.
Yeah,
I'm sure chewing on plastic isn't quite as dangerous as chewing on resin.
or metal.
I wouldn't recommend either, though. Just saying, you shouldn't be giving plastic starter sets to your children unless they're well supervised. So even though Dropzone Commander has been spreading worldwide, there are still one or two people out there who don't know anything about it. So for those people, I'm going to give you a little brief background to the game. So here's my version of it. Mankind are just happily swanning along, and then suddenly aliens come in, take over everything. Some of the humans got away, some of them didn't. There's brain slugs all over the place, and now the humans are coming back in with advanced technology to take over again. That's my version, that's the short version, and now we're going to hand it over to Mr. Spud for a slightly more detailed story.
So guys, this is the Yorkshire background storytelling by Spud Tate. Time before it coming of age. Mankind had a troubled childhood. No period in its early history was without warfare, bloodshed and strife, obviously. Whenever the drums of war were heard, the pace of technology development accelerated. The great something of the 20th century and mankind's first global conflicts and underscored in its darkest potential for the something, as well as a something for breathtaking advancements under immense pressure.
Yeah, we all remember the great something of the 20th century. That was a key moment in human history.
And it goes on, and then if you go through all that jibber jabber of complicated words and full stops, ready all weapons, we're jumping in 3. 1, 2, 3, jump! And that's Dropzone Commander for you guys. So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
Been emotional. See you later.
Now, I don't feel like we really did enough justice to the backstory there, so you probably should go and read it for yourself, especially the new expansion, which expands on a bit of it, doesn't it? For anyone that's seen that.
That's the timeline.
Advances the timeline, does it?
Yeah, it advances the timeline, so the reconquest is actually recommencing, or is commencing. Can you recommence a reconquest?
The reconquest is slightly further along.
Yeah, so it's not recommenced, it's discontinued.
And the Scourge aren't being taken by surprise anymore, so they're hitting back, I assume.
Yes, I think so. So, I think we'll fight them on the beaches.
That is the best place to do fighting.
Yeah.
So realistically, what happened in the real story is the humans were living very, very happy,
Right?
as they always do in American films. Everyone were happy, and then some aliens did. Oh no, some aliens gave them a warning that something bad was going to happen, but obviously we didn't listen, and the aliens did come down.
Did though? Some of us did. Some of us did,
Oh yeah.
and then bogged off.
Some of us. So it was like a total chilling Wargamer split. Some of us stayed here and carried on doing chilling Wargamers. And some of the others went, you know what, I'm going to go live up moon.
So a bit like Independence Day, where you got the one farmer guy that got anal probed, and then everyone else.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Okay.
And then the aliens did come down and start smashing us up. And then the chilling Wargamer human faction that went to the moon, obviously we got a lot more advanced. We come down and helped out a fight in the Scourge, who were actually aliens. And to be 100% honest, I know nothing about the Shatari, so I'll hand that over to someone else.
I think Mr. Deathbringer Kane is going to be more of our expert on this sort of scenario. So maybe you could enlighten us a little bit more, because I play the game. I haven't got a clue about the story. I know there's humans, there's aliens. That's about it.
It's Dan just run away. What I know, the Shaltari were just kind of keeping an eye on all this, or they were former victims of the Scourge, maybe, and now they're coming in to clean house.
Oh, so they got anal probed as well?
I think that's what happened.
Okay.
Let's go with that. Let's go with that. There's a lot of probing, a lot of brain slugs.
Shatari were peeping toms, and then they were like, oh yeah, I want in some of this action, and that's what happened.
As often happens. So, the game itself, 10mm scale, activation by activation, alternate.
Yep. Do you want me to start reading rules again?
We're alright for now, Spud. If we don't get any comments after about half an hour, we may come back to you for some reading.
Man, it's a 10mm scale.
So, let's go down the line and see what got each of us into this game. So let's start with the Danbringer.
I saw it at a convention, thought it looked interesting, had a game of it, really liked the game. I was sold by the very fact one of the guys demoing the game showed me one of the models and said, look what you can do with it, then proceeded to drop the model on the floor and say, look, it's still fine. No damage. So that was the selling point. When so one of the staff members goes like, here's my really studio quality model that I'm just going to throw on the floor. As long as no one stands on it, it's fine.
I
was sold.
Well, if you're not impressed, Dan, just make a model that you can reverse a tank over, and it's still fine. He'll be in. He'll be buying multiple starter sets. So, Mr. Elstonation, what about you?
To be fair, Spud had a hand in this because I was watching YouTube videos quite a lot of the time, and Spud did a review on the starter set, I think, back in the day.
Back in
the day. And then down at my local club, some of the guys were saying, "Oh, we're doing starter games, basically, sort of intro games." So I came along. Some guy had this massive UCM army. I picked up various models and dropped various models as well. And like Dan said, they didn't break. So obviously a good point there.
And also, this is no advertising to go throw your models on the floor, because if you have glued them not properly, they will break.
Yeah.
They do.
To be fair, after that, I played.
All staff may well be using superior super glue.
Superior? What? Are you talking like araldite or something that's like concrete?
Yeah, it could well be. It could have special glue.
After this episode, people will just be throwing their Dropzone models on the floor and then probing each other.
You can just imagine it's sort of like one of those Greek things that can put some music on. I'm just like throwing the models on the floor.
It's like, finished.
That was
That'd be a good
fantastic.
video series for you, Spud, actually. Find out which game system has the sturdiest model range.
Yeah, that was pretty sick. Yeah, it's thrown down the concrete steps.
Okay, Spud, so what got you into it? Dropzone has firmly gripped you by the gonads, hasn't it?
Yeah, so Dropzone, I was at the same convention as Dan, and I watched the example game that they had, the demo example game. Oh, the demo. I watched the demo. I'm pointing over there as if the demo table's right there. That's what's happening. So
I think it's hallucinating.
I watched the demo. It was really awesome, and then one of the guys who were the models on the floor, and I was like, "Wow, they actually survived." And no, I don't know. To be honest, I just liked everything. Like, I was more intrigued with the models. I still don't properly know the rules. I just hope Dan does.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for, man.
Yeah, Dan's the rules guy. He's the rule book himself. It's just like, I didn't have to spend £15. I just had Dan. It was awesome. It's like, if you could get Dan free shipping anywhere in the world, you'd have the best bargain of your life.
Well, my wife says that every night.
Oh!
For me personally, I just started trying to expand my gaming horizons because at that time it was mostly GW games, and I think I was into Dreadball as well at that point. But I was looking for more games.
Into free systems.
I hadn't got up to the 8 systems that I'm currently at this stage. So the 3 that I'd got it down to that I was thinking about getting into was Dropzone Commander, Bolt Action, and War Machine. So I did a bit of research, and Dropzone Commander seemed to have the best starter set of the 3. And that is a huge selling point when you're trying to get into a game, because you don't want to be spending obscene amounts of money just to get into it.
The starter set in Dropzone Commander is like just amazing.
Yeah, I think it's still probably the best starter set for any game system out there.
Yeah, you get 2 reasonable sized armies that are quite balanced.
Yeah.
A surface to play it on, and some nice terrain. As you can, I've got some knocking around.
And a really tiny tape measure that I'm pretty sure you can throw on the floor and it won't break.
I won't say that.
Tried it actually.
I don't know. I can see if I can find mine.
Yeah, you go and do that.
Right.
But you do get everything you need to play a game. Most starter sets you don't get terrain in for a start. So with Dropzone, all you really need is a flat surface. You can play it on the floor if you really wanted, if you haven't got any pets or children.
Yeah, because it comes with the actual.
You have pets or children. As long as you keep them out of the room, that's fine.
Oh, I found it!
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
We're going to have a stress test of the tape measure.
It's still intact.
Yay!
Don't just keep dropping it until it breaks. We don't want to know how long it takes to break.
It still works.
So, yeah.
But I think one of the main points that drew me into Dropzone Commander, other than just the nice starter set, the reason it got me interested in the first place is just different. The scale is something that I quite like, because I used to play Epic and games like that with the tiny little men. So I could appreciate that.
That little bit bigger than Epic, but obviously slightly smaller Flames of War. So was that middle ground, wasn't it? It was a nice middle ground where things aren't too small, but they're not too big.
Yeah, just the game mechanics seem really unique as well. I think even now there isn't another game that's really got the same system of all the units being brought in by ship and then dropped in.
Yeah, the average game where you start with nothing on the board and you're reacting against each other to where you deploy your forces.
It seemed,
as opposed to before the game starts.
It seemed like one of the first games where instead of having like 40k, where it's I do my entire army, then you go, you do your entire army, or the opposite, which one squad, then one squad, then one squad. Dropzone's kind of got a mix where you do battle groups, so you can actually activate about 3 units all at once.
Yeah.
And then they get to go back, so it allows a few more options in game tactic-wise for me.
It's definitely unique. Now, we're not going to get a huge variety of answers here, so let's talk a little bit about the factions that each of us play.
Well, maybe I'll go first, because I want to say something different to the rest of you.
Yeah, you go first then, Mr. Dan Raider.
Well, I've currently got the PHR, which is the Post-Human Republic, which is the humans who left Earth before the Scourge arrived to basically conquer everything, of all the core walls and all that. So, mine is basically a load of cyborgs and AI influenced humans. So it's a lot of walkers and basically Terminators for infantry.
And I like shooting at buildings.
Yeah, they like shoot. Yeah, the others know them as. They like to think I've got a yellow hard hat because I do like shooting buildings.
Yeah, you have to pack your hard hat when you're playing against Dan.
Yeah, and the thing that'll throw you off is especially I'll start shooting buildings when no one inside them. I like shooting stuff, and the building just gets it for no apparent reason.
You don't have an awful lot of mobility with the PHR, so if there's no target in sight, why not just open up on the nearest building?
Yeah, they're very slow and deliberate, but they're also very tough. And I think out the current 5 factions, they've probably got the longest range weapons to make up for the lack of mobility.
Don't they have a Space Marine save as well, or something like that?
No, that's Shaltari. Shaltari are the quote-unquote dodgy ones who have got their own rules to follow.
The tricky ones that play by their own rules.
Yeah, pretty much. Although we do have a unit that does have a save, which is because that's the unique point about Dropzone Commander, because not hardly any unit has a save. You very rarely have a save on a unit. So there's always basically if you get damaged, you take a model off or take a point of damage or something. There's no set rolling dice for saves.
Yeah, for the most part, it just cuts out one dice roll in a phase of the game, doesn't it?
Yeah.
If they did have saves, you'd probably find the game lasted too long. Because the games can last a fair amount of time as it is, but if they all had saves, you'd just be there all night going, "Ah, Space Marines."
So, Mr. Elstonation, I believe you're a UCM player.
I am indeed. I'm looking into PHR at the moment, possibly Resistance, but PHR is the way I'm looking. But yeah, I've got a fairly sizable UCM. Reason why? They've got massively long. They're just powerful, basically. They're not like massively fast, but they're just powerful and they're tough.
Also, it's one half of the starter set.
Yeah, which is quite a bit of a sort of thumbs up, basically, because you can just get the starter set and then just start adding on top of it. So.
Yeah, because I think if I'd started when after the starter set had come out, I probably would want to be either Scourge or UCM myself as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, there is that period, kind of the midlife of the game up to this point, where most people will have been playing UCM or Scourge, but the people who got in before the starter set possibly would have been playing the others that are arguably more interesting looking than the UCM, and then the people that are starting now, they've just got total freedom of choice because of the new plastic starter sets, plastic starter armies, and the Resistance out there as well, which seem to be grabbing quite a lot of people. Mr. Spud, another UCM. Not cheese.
Yeah, my first faction was UCM, and I just really like to be honest, because obviously I bought it just for the models to start with. So the thing is, I thought like the dropships were kind of like the main point of the game. Like they'd go around and shoot everything, but they actually do. It was like when I played my first game, I was like, oh, you don't actually really use your dropships to do the fighting. You do use your dropships to more tactical to drop the units that are going to blow things up. And then after I played like loads of games and I had lost it because I'm awesome, I decided to get one of each of the factions just because I'm awesome.
That's just the kind of guy you are.
I haven't got the Resistance though. Yet. I've built up some Resistance, and they were like really easy to put together, and like it didn't take me very. It took me an hour and 20 minutes to put the whole starter set, cleaning it up, gluing it, and I had to do it to a really high level as well. I couldn't mess it up, so it took a little bit more time. The plastic Shatari set took me around 2 hours to put together, but once again, making sure I glue set properly and everything. So it's not really that long, really, to think about it, because you've got like 2 hours for prep, and that's removing all the mold lines as well. And there's very few, like if you wouldn't notice them unless you're like really looking close at them. And then obviously like priming and sanding. No. If you were sanding then priming and everything, it wouldn't take long to paint any of the starter sets of that thing. especially to the basic level.
I haven't noticed any mold lines really. I mean, if I possibly had to look really hard, then maybe I might find them. But they're manufactured quite a clever way, so you don't see mold lines and stuff like that. It's really
Yeah,
clever.
a lot of them, it's just maybe just a tag that you might have to snip off and file back a little bit off. Personally, I don't use a lot of files when I'm cleaning up models because it kind of leaves that scratch sometimes, even if you use really fine stuff. So I use a lot of scalpel work and scrape and cut. It's just how I like to use it. Like I've just got used to it now, and I can. I don't know. I'm perfect. Not perfect, but I'm really good at doing that now. So.
With the two-player starter box, I don't remember seeing any mold lines on any of the plastic models in there. They must be really well done, because you still see a lot of manufacturers out there today with just mold lines galore, mold lines as far as the eye can see. But that's really not a problem in Dropzone at all.
Yeah, the Shatari ones, the only mold lines I could see were like on its shoulder pad, on each side were like it was so fine you wouldn't even know, you could get it away with detail. To be honest.
And you were worried for a minute there, because we know how much you love shoulder pads.
Yeah, well, I thought if someone paints this shoulder pad wrong, like it's just over.
Okay, now just to continue the theme, I'm also a UCM player, which again was because they were in the two-player starter set. And in case that wasn't enough, I then won a second two-player starter set. Quick shout out for Scottish Tabletop Gaming, who I won it from. I don't know if he's still actually going. I haven't seen any new videos from him for quite a while.
He hasn't done a giveaway for ages, so I don't know if it's.
He was well known for his giveaways back in the day. So 2 starter sets, obviously it's going to be UCM, because I just like the way they look. And I've got quite a few models now. I think I've probably got about 75% of the UCM range, roughly. I'm thinking if I ever go for another faction, I'd probably go for Shaltari, mainly, as you can see, because they're often pictured in orange. So I wouldn't have to stray too far from the art in the book.
But you could just paint anything orange.
You could paint whatever you want orange, but I'd quite like the green UCM. When I was painting them originally, I was thinking of doing them green, but then with some kind of brownish, greeny camo pattern on them, like digital camo.
Yeah.
But the struggles that I went through trying to kind of create my own little stencils to do it with masking tape and all different things, and I tried paper, and then when I would go on it there with my airbrush, because my airbrush is, let's say, Chinese, then it is literally, it's one of those lovely Chinese, not very expensive airbrushes from eBay. So it doesn't get into a particularly fine spray, so you are left with a little bit of residue all over the place if you're not careful. So I kind of gave up on doing that and just went for my wonderful edge highlighting instead, which is
that is beautiful.
That is a well-known painting technique that is very popular.
Aliens did come down, you'd be just like, have you seen these? And they'd be just like, and they just leave.
Maybe if the UCM had developed all this edge highlighting technology and put it on all their vehicles before the invasion, maybe the Scourge wouldn't have bothered.
Well, I'll tell you what, Andy, if you ever go for like a different kind of airbrush that's not Chinese, you can maybe try some of the techniques that I've tried. I've done like camo stripes going down them as well. So you just do green and then just do stripes all down. And as long as you do the colours right, you can get quite a nice subtle camo blend.
I'll definitely consider that in the future. So, obviously, we've all played a few games. Some of us more than a few. How has everyone found the actual gaming side of it? Who wants to start?
Well, we'll let Dan bring it.
Yeah, let's start with Dan again.
Yeah.
Well, to be honest, I found the game quite well. Used to the stats, because obviously instead of having 2 vehicles and infantry, you've got basically different one armor value that goes 2 for like 1 and 2 for your infantry, all the way to your 10s for your tanks, and it just uses a switch chart for both. But obviously your weapons can only damage one above its energy value. So say if you've got an energy 7 gun,
Hmm.
you can only hurt armor 8 stuff. And it's
Yeah.
anything higher that you can't. Any machine guns and whatnot can't scratch armor, but it doesn't need a separate rule. So that's one thing I like about it. You know, also the very fact it's
Breaking up a bit, Dan.
the set way.
Dan's being abducted right now by aliens.
It's one of those games where there's a lot of rules, and some of them are quite difficult to wrap your head around. But once you do, it all kind of makes sense as a full package. So once you get your head around bits of it, you can easily pick up the rest. I found.
That's what people say about me.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's like, I'm very complicated to understand, but once I get the head right around me, I am the full package.
Ladies, I hope you're listening to that last comment.
Just saying. But anyway, yeah. So the weapon energy chart, the chart itself is if you think about that game that we all talk about and add 1 to it, that is what it is. Yeah.
There are charts, but they're
So
just quite easy
so
to
if it was
memorize.
energy 4 versus what sort of one? Armor 4, it'd be 5 plus to hit, because it's like the other game, but +1.
So it's basically, if you've got even numbers, it's a 5+. So if the numbers are the same, it's a 5+.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which you would think makes up the fact that there aren't a lot of armor saves, so it's like it's all rolled into one.
Yeah, so it's actually
separate dice rolls.
So it's a bit tricky to actually blow things up because you don't have armor saves.
It's harder to actually hit and damage things. Well, particularly damage, it's slightly harder to do that. But then when you do, there's very rarely a save involved.
Yeah, the Scourge are particularly hard to hit. I always find them real troublesome. But
yeah, when they start doing donuts around the car park.
Yeah! What? He just moved in a circle. I'm like, yeah, I'm still getting my bonus.
Yeah, do you think that was the way it was intended, the rule? They have to move a certain distance and they're harder to hit, so people just drive it round in a circle and finish in the same spot?
I don't know. To be fair, I'd probably do that if I was a crazed alien sort of inhabiting a human, and I was just like, I'm not going to stand here and just get blown up. I'm going to pull donuts in the car park while I'm waiting. I would do that.
Alright, on the basis of donuts, have we got any questions in the have we got any comments in the question? What?
Spud.
Have we got any questions in the comments about Dropzone Commander rules? Because I've got the rulebook here, and I can read them all night long. And I'm a professional. I know everything about them.
We have actually got quite a few comments. I'm not sure whether we have any rules questions for you.
Alright, so if you're doing the rules questions, I'll get on it because I know all the rules. So,
well, let's see. We've got some comments here. Troy Perez says, "Woohoo! Live Dropzone Commander show." He's very excited. He says he just started getting into Dropzone after the startup price came down with the plastic starters for a low price. So yeah, the point of entry has been significantly lowered for new players.
It is awesome.
Let's see. We have Bazooka J Rambo in here.
Yes,
Always
legend.
nice to see that guy. He's asking if anyone's interested in the Resistance.
I'll be all over it, me.
Most people seem to be all over them. I am not a huge fan of the Resistance because I like my armies to look a bit more uniform, and they're a bit more, by their very nature, they're a bit kind of cobbled together from whatever was left of technology.
Yeah.
Which some people
really
like.
Nice, I like some of the rules. If you've played Dropzone Con, you'll understand. But like normal people can't shoot at like flying things. You've got to have a special rule. But what happens is with their drop ships, is once you start banging them with AA guns, eventually they start dropping down because the technology is not as good, and then like normal people can shoot at them. Normal people, like troops and tanks, can actually start shooting at the drop ships as well. So it's really cool. It makes it like more of a they are a lot better than most of the drop ships because they are armed a lot more heavier, but you can actually take them down a bit easier.
But did you realise when you said normal people, you just insulted an entire race of anti-air people?
Can suck on my airbrush.
Okay, we've got a comment from the legendary Mr. Pezapoo. He says, his question is, hard hats, yes or no in a future rules update?
I'll just check. Let's go to index, go to H.
I would like to see hard hats come in as an option, because for people who aren't aware, one of the rules in Dropzone, when you're in a building and someone shoots it, there's a possibility that parts of the building will fall off and hit you on the head, which is generally an air conditioning unit. And you might die, you might lose some models from that. So we're thinking if you have a hard hat upgrade on your units, you should get some kind of save against that.
Yeah, I'm definitely in for that. So if all four of us agree, or at least a higher percentage agree in this hangout, I think we should check it out.
And also, Spud, aren't you like a super moderator in the Dropzone Commander community Facebook group as well? You must have untold influence in the community.
Yeah, I just say, look, today in Dropzone Commander, I'm just going to use my Space Marines against you. And they're just like, oh, that's awesome, and they just let me use them, it's great.
I think maybe instead of hard hats, personal, mobile, steel reinforced gazebos.
Wow, I actually put up a gazebo today. I am not even lying.
Was it steel reinforced?
Mate, if something had fallen on that gazebo, it had definitely just gone straight through it.
So I think it's steel reinforced.
What about if someone dropped the studio painted Dropzone Commander models on it?
Nothing, it just bounced straight off. And it had bounced off onto the floor, not one scratch.
Is that on the gazebo or on the model?
Both.
Spud, I'm going to ask you, is there actually a story attached to this gazebo construction? Or have you just sidetracked us for no reason whatsoever?
There's no story. No side. Just sort of side.
Well, how about if I said steel, like, personal teepee?
I didn't put a TP, it was kind of like one though. It was like two gazebos put together.
Okay.
So not like a TP.
We've had another comment, Bazooka J. Rambo again. He says he might be able to use his old collection of micro machines for the Resistance.
It really could. It really could though, that's the thing. If you do that, Bazooka J. Rambo, send them all to me. No, I was kidding. I'm already going to get some Resistance. But yeah, that'd be a really cool idea. So if you sell all your 40k as well, you could like buy loads of stuff and put it towards it.
You could just buy tons of micro machines and use them in Dropzone Commander.
Oh, easy.
What's that, Spud? If you send a text from Hawk Wargames telling you to shut up about micro machines.
Yeah, as well, yeah. Don't talk about micro machines because they're cheaper than Dropzone Commander models. I don't think I was supposed to read that out loud though, that's the thing.
Spud, I think you've just lost your affiliation with Hawk Wargames now on the back of this.
I've just got another text. You're sacked. So yeah. Who likes Dropzone anyway?
So yeah, 40k special. Which one does everyone do?
Yeah. So my shoulder pads today was painted blue.
So, other than the Resistance, there have been quite a lot of other new releases for the other factions as well. What have we made of them? Let's start with Mr. Dan again, shall we?
Just get my list out.
What was the question again?
What have you made of the new releases for the other factions, not just the Resistance?
Who's the tired one?
Oh, very, very nice. I mean, I've got one made to hand.
This guy's ready.
Oh, let's hold it up on the right camera. I mean, this bad boy.
Oh yeah, he's proper sexy.
That is one of the best models, definitely.
I mean, it's just huge for a 10mm scale. It's just like, as you can see.
Who could say no to a giant robotic scorpion?
Yeah, with a huge laser cannon on its tail.
See, I'm not sure if you're holding that closer to the camera to make it look bigger. So, like, if I put my hand here, my hand.
So go hold it down the other end of the room and see if you can still see it.
There you go.
It is quite a beast.
It is big.
So for those Dropzone Commander pit players, what energy is that cannon?
11.
11.
13.
Alright, just stop making it up. You can't just do a damn roll. Well, I think it's Energy 15.
Yeah, so your model's dead.
I don't know what energy
Yeah.
the ones are.
So,
Energy
Mr.
13.
Elstonation, what do you think of the new releases? Anything caught your eye?
I've been using the new Eagles gunship for the ECM.
Oh yeah, I've got a sheet here. Yeah, it's pretty sexy. Don't know if you guys can see.
Yeah, that's the one. That's pretty nasty. People don't really know what to do. I mean, a lot of fire goes its way, but it's quite a good distraction. And also the katanas, the new little sort of lighter tanks, they're really handy. Like, because they're quite cheap and they can just scuttle around, and they're still pretty tough, and like they got 2 shots each. So katanas and Eagle gunship for me.
What about the fire blades?
It'll steal everything off me.
I find the fire blades are kind of they're very specialised sort of thing. You have to have the right situation. I mean,
It is something that tends to come up in every game, though. There is usually a building that you want cleared out.
yeah, I tend to blow up the building. So even if I don't want, if like my tactic is if I can't have it, I stop them from having
I can
it.
see why you're leaning towards PHR then.
Yeah. It's just like,
I normally take. I'll actually read my army list. Believe it or not, it's right next to me. I usually set quite a high troop battle group. I take quite a high commander. We'll get on to that in a minute. Why commanders are very important in this game. You know it being called Dropzone Commander. But I actually take some katanas and I take some fireblades. My army's quite defensive really, and I don't really go for the offense in any game, to be honest. I ain't tried the Eagle out. I ain't tried the unit called the Ferrum class drone base.
they're really handy.
Yeah, I haven't tried them out yet.
It's pretty neat. I don't know if you can actually like see there's no scale purpose on here, but it actually like produces little ships and they come out and like start shooting stuff. It's pretty nice. And then also there's the new longbow howitzers.
Yeah, they're fun as well.
I ain't tried them. The other thing I've tried are the katanas and the fire blades, and I really like the fire blades because they put a lot of pressure on people dropping the drop zoning the troops into the commanding area.
What I like doing, I like the new Eagle gunships because I find when combined with the Falcon gunships, you can really create a nice mobile kind of army that can just pop out, shoot something. And if they haven't got tons of anti-air, they may struggle. If they don't know you're coming with an almost all-flying list.
In the background as well.
Sorry? What was that?
Playing Ride of the Valkyries as well in the background as well.
You can do.
Yeah.
But if you bring nothing but flying stuff and they're not prepared for it,
The Scourge don't surf.
That tends to be a defining feature, though, on Dropzone Commander. If you take out their anti-air, then you've basically got free roam of the board. You're just like, well, I'm just going to move around here. I'm going to go over here. And then they're just like, oh, well,
quite
I
often
can't.
you do that, but there are ways you can prevent that from deciding the game. If you just destroy the buildings that they're trying to find objectives in, or if you destroy their ground-based transports. It depends what kind of list you go with.
True.
You-
I find, like, guys in buildings as well actually become quite nasty anti-air as well when they're sort of hanging around.
Right. I don't know what Spud is doing, but we've got some more comments. Bazooka J Rambo, he's got some monster truck micro machines.
Nice. That could be fine. Yeah, resistance monster trucks. That'd be sick. Like have armored plated wheels
They
as
should
well.
have a special rule where you can park all the little cars in front of them and set up a ramp, and you can jump over buildings with it.
Oh, yes. Or through buildings. Like have a like steel plow on the front or something.
I'm not sure how that would work. Or you could use that to clear out troops, actually.
Yeah.
And you get to the other side, and you've just got all these Scourge guys just on the front of the plough. Just
To be fair, with resistance, you can literally think of anything in this in this world today, like vehicle-wise, and go, yeah, we could use that. So,
I actually, sorry,
go ahead, Spud.
I'm going to say we actually forgot a unit with a Praetorian sniper team. I know this is very UCM based, isn't it? Because like there's only Dan that does PHR. So if anybody is watching this and you want to come on the show next time and speak about Shatari, Resistance, or the other faction, and just come on and help us out, because it's pretty hard at the moment, because obviously there's only 4 of us and
We have got a Scourge expert watching though.
Scourge expert. Next time.
We've got Pezapoo watching.
Oh well, next time, Pez, just pop on.
I think he's got about 3 of every single Scourge unit.
Well, pop on next time, Pezapoo. It'll be emotional, and you can talk us all for every stat line and everything about Scourge.
And then Spud can read some more of the background.
Yeah, I'll read it right now if you want. It's pretty...
While eating Pringles.
The Pringles were a full nutritional necessity. I could actually read it in 6 different languages if you want.
Are you talking about Pringles or the rulebook now?
Just the Pringles. Just the Pringles.
If we do a Pringles special, then we may call on that talent.
I can try to read it in a different language. I can be like, Dropzone Commander is mainly a D60 basey gamey.
Is there a language where they just put the E syllable on the end of every word?
Yeah, I think it's Spanish, I think. Spanish or Italian, I don't know, they both sound the same.
All the Spanish viewers out there.
Well, let's just alienate them, haven't we?
Yeah, the Spanish people, yeah. Infantry are soldiers who fight on footy. They are normally slowy, but poorly armoured.
Well, thanks for that, Spud.
It's welcome, guys. Anytime you need a language in English or Spanish, I will be there.
Well, we've got another audience question. Pezapoo is wondering if he starts losing units to falling masonry and air conditioning units, can he put in a claim? Because you know, where there's a blame, there's a claim.
He is, yeah.
No win, no fee.
It's actually in the rules. If they kill like 50% of your unit and you fail your morale, you can actually put the claim against the person you're playing against.
Is it no win, no fee, or is it no charge at all?
If you carry on, I'll get back to you and I'll let you know.
Okay then. Troy Perez has commented again. He said that he likes Dropzone Commander miniatures because they're very easy to paint, because he's a lazy painter and the vehicles can be painted up quickly and still look decent, which is exactly what I found with my UCM, because it is just green and then a lighter green on all the edges. You can't get much simpler than that other than just one colour, which I'm not sure anyone would try and get away with, but maybe 1 or 2 people. But Mr. Elstonation, you're a little bit of a pro painter, aren't you? So how have you found the miniatures compared to other ranges, painting-wise?
Am I supposed to do a sound effect here because you uttered the word pro painter? Because I'm completely lax in that. I don't know what sound effects it is.
Well, it doesn't matter, just hit anything.
I tend to stay away from hard edge highlighting with.
Ooh.
Sorry. I'm sorry. It's just my personal preference. If you're into it, that's cool. That's cool.
Don't tell me you do dry brushing instead.
No, I don't actually. I actually, it's quite simple. You just paint green, then do my camo patterns on it. Do some silver for the gun bits, and then just wash it all with black, and that's it.
That is the pro advice of the day.
It's dead easy. The black wash does all the work for you, so you don't really need to do a lot. You could go further if you want, but
yeah. With my UCM, I added in like a light grey, then like a green, and then I did like a black wash. We are talking about painting, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
Oh yeah, and then yeah, I just painted the lights and stuff like that, and then I was done. Really easy, really nice and easy to do.
I think we can all agree with that. The models are generally easy to paint, especially the plastic infantry, because the plastic doesn't have quite the same level of detail as the resin. Often they just don't have a face, so it'll just be just a bit of skin and then a pair of goggles. That's just easy, isn't it?
All the videos that I've done, because I've been releasing a video every day this week on Dropzone Commander. There are reviews of each plastic box set. I've actually suggested in most of the videos that the metal troops I actually like better because obviously the detail is more enhanced. But for the scale purpose and for the price, it's definitely awesome. There's only the troops that are lesser detail to the actually resin pieces. Like I get to my camera and like my camera's here, and I actually have to get like super zoom, and I can't actually get still all this my detail, and my camera's pretty high quality HD.com.
Right, guys, we're also being watched by Gloomdready Gaming and Van Hammer.
A
A couple of community legends there.
Wow. Go on, Van. Love you, bro. It's been a while. Need to do some conversions of Dropzone Commander.
Yeah, is there much room for converting in Dropzone Commander, do you think? With the Resistance, I would say yes, definitely.
Resistance, really easy, micro machines. And then for you get a lot of spare parts in the plastic sets. So one I'm going to do, so there's going to be like a tip of the week. The first thing is like you get quite a lot of troops spare. You can actually put them to the bases of your flying bases and stuff. And then for the other parts, you could actually make like new ships up if you really wanted to. What's the one with the UCM? There's a UCM conversion as well.
Isn't there like a new tank or something like that coming out with the general or something?
Yes, he is. Yeah, 100% right. There's the new. I think it's the Resistance can use a UCM tank.
Yeah, it's they call it a Scorpion? No, maybe not a Scorpion.
Alexandra.
Yeah, something like that.
Because I'm thinking I've just got.
HQ Resistance, HQ tank.
That's another thing that's come out new that we haven't spoke about yet. Each faction's got special characters. No?
Yeah, I know nothing about it.
Yeah, I don't either.
But you actually see what the races look like as well a little bit more in the new art, don't you? Like the Sheltari. They're kind of like, I would say they're like a cross between a Predator and an Ewok.
Yeah, has anyone seen Critters?
Yeah, I think
Critters. I like them, like the head bits like a critter. So yeah, if you go on the Hardcore Games website, ding, all the artwork's actually on there now fully, and also if you sign up to the newsletter, ding, each month you get like quite a small short story about like a faction and stuff. It's proper awesome. Anyway, so what we're talking about, conversions.
Yeah, to be fair, I think it's kind of early days because they've only just actually come out. Whereas if you talk to other companies, they've had a fair amount of time to actually sort of build up.
Well, I think there's a lot of room for terrain.
Ooh.
Oh.
What's that for?
This is a display board.
Ah, very tasty.
Is it like a diorama?
No,
is that what you're going to have planned for?
It's for forthcoming showcase videos, and you'll see nice units.
Are you going to make an entire table that you can plug that into as well at junctions?
Yeah. It's just like Lazy Susans everywhere.
Sorry.
Okay, dude.
No, you go. Mine's totally off subject.
Well, no, mine's kind of similar because basically, if you had a board where you could plug that into, when the person turns around, you could just sort of twist it. Like if you guys are facing around,
So wait a minute, I had my models in range. What are they doing over here?
So yeah, my off-subject thing was, I think in the starter set you actually get a spare you get a spare bear, and that's like a transport. You could potentially convert that into a Kodiak, because the only difference is the back end is different to the actual thing. It's got a trailer, got a goddamn trailer.
If you put a little radar dish on it, you're alright, aren't you?
Yeah, boom, you're away. Also, the micro machines is definitely awesome right now. That's something to think about.
Is it N scale or N gauge railway stuff you can get for buildings and?
There's that website that everyone talks about all the time, as well.
I'd actually be tempted to try a different route and use Spartan Games have just released a game called Planetfall, which is, I believe, is a 10mm game, much like Dropzone Commander, and take some of their bits, chop them up, and then use them for Dropzone stuff.
Yeah, I think the Scourge and the Shatari, it could potentially convert quite a bit, because it don't really matter. The UCM and the PHR, I think, are pretty tough, unless there's like other the other companies out there that we don't know.
So when it comes to the Scourge and the Sheltari, Spuds idea is it doesn't matter at all. Just chop them up. Who cares?
Yeah, just get them and just chop it straight in half and stick it to something else.
There's no faction bias at all on this show, folks.
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
We love the Chatauri.
They are pretty cool, especially the fact that they're orange in most of the art. I can appreciate that. So, let's see if we've had any more comments in the last few minutes.
Of course.
Well, a few people saying that they have to go, leaving before the end of the show. What's going on here?
Well, means that I can rewatch it later anyway, it's fine.
Yeah, they can rewatch it at great length again.
And again. And again.
Yeah, because there are undertones that you only pick up after repeated viewings.
Yeah, it's like Donnie Darko. If you watch it once, you're like, what just happened? Like, I really don't understand. After watching it like 10 to 20 times, you're like, wow, I know like a little bit more now.
So anyone who's on their 20th viewing of this episode, leave a little comment and tell us if you picked up on anything extra.
Yeah.
Yeah, subliminal messages have been creeping in all through this.
Yeah.
Basically saying go buy Dropzone, go buy Dropzone.
Dropzone Commander apparently in America's really big now. It's kind of broke America. But over here, I still don't think it's massively
broken
I don't know.
Actually, we talking like broke as in damaged, or just because that would be interesting as well.
It's lucky it is really taking off in America, Spud, because if it hadn't already, then people would just be using micro machines, and you would have just destroyed Hawk.
But yeah, I think over here there's only like pretty much one major tournament. That's the actual Hawk Wargames one. But they need to do a northern one because Croydon's far too far from Leeds.
Yeah, you can't do any wargaming stuff that far south, I'm afraid.
Yeah, that's far too. Yeah, it's too far, guys. So if you,
everyone knows all the best wargaming happens up north.
Oh, what?
I know I've been sacked upon Hawk Wargames, but like, you know, we need to have one up north.
He says that as taking a swig of some kind of alcoholic beverage.
It's not an alcoholic. I don't drink. I love Jesus.
Jesus drank, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, they were all about drinking wine.
I'm really terrible. I'm lying. I'm sorry. I'm drinking. All right. It's been a long day.
It's not even Jesus Day.
Yeah, exactly. I can't drink on Jesus Day.
I wonder if this is the right sound effect. I found it.
So yeah, that's what's going on.
So I think we're practically at an hour now, and I think we've just about run this particular well dry. Unless we've had any really insightful questions, let's have one final check. No. So if people want another Dropzone Commander in the future, and we'll try and get a better selection of factions represented on the panel, let us know if there's anything you'd like us to talk about relating to Dropzone, or which other game systems you'd like specials on. I'm sure if Spud gets his way, we're going to have a Relics one at some point in the near future.
Hopefully next Wednesday.
That would be nice. Keep an eye on the Facebook group and Google Plus, as always, to see when the next episode's coming up. Since Spud is a very busy man, we just have to fit them in whenever he's available now.
Yes, I am very intensely busy.
I've also, on a side note as well, I've been talking to Mr. Pidge as well to hopefully try and re-kick D&D back into gear again with a slight change to it. So, but yeah, I'll chat to the other guys about.
Yeah, so D&D fans, keep your eyes open for that. Also, for those of you that are waiting patiently, you're just salivating because one of you out there is going to win that signed Tarot of Locker set. We're going to announce that winner very soon on Facebook.
Yeah.
So anyone who hasn't entered that competition yet, go and watch the previous video on this channel, the Alessio sandwich. Bud and I provided the bread, and Alessio was the Italian sausage.
A very tall one.
Head over there, and you'll find out how you can enter that competition before it's too late. We're hoping to announce the winner in the next few days. So with that, has anyone got any parting words before we end this broadcast?
I want a poem.
Too bad.
I'll read some more lines from the Dropzone Commander.
Your
in
2
any
higher
damage.
weapons required is double damage.
The Zeus class is optimized for the command role and features the latest battlefield communications array. Also good by the experimental. Yeah,
Keep going, Spud. You read us out, and I'll just end it at some point while you're reading.
No, anyway, guys, I do appreciate everyone turning up tonight. You know, you're all pretty bonkers for turning up and watching us talk about something we don't really know about to like really like professional degree.
We're
But,
experts.
We try as best, and we do love everybody that turns up. I'll watch this afterwards, and we hopefully do have a go. If you just get like a demo of Hog Wargames Dropzone Commander, I think it's a pretty emotional game, so you should check it out.
Yeah, with that, I think Spud is going to go and have a lie down.
I'm going to go for a snooze.
He's going to go and hibernate for a few days, I think.
I'm going to read my Dropzone Commander book and fall
This
asleep.
is what happens when Spud runs out of chicken.
And to be truthfully honest, right, I ain't had chicken for like 2 days. I'm not even lying. I've got some chicken flavoured rice that's going to go in my mouth after this show, but that's it.
I hope it goes in your mouth, not somewhere else.
Yeah, I'm going to shove it into my eyeball.
Yeah, so if you want to see the video on Spud eating chicken-flavoured rice through his eyeball, leave a comment with words to that effect, and maybe he'll get that done.
Flavoured rice, not even chicken rice.
Yeah, so before Spud actually passes out, good night, folks. We'll see you
Love you
next
all.
time.
See you later, guys!
Peace.
Bye.